Hello and good morning. So today we're going to look through a few of the updates I've been doing recently, just give you a bit of progress on what I've been up to. But first things first, I'm pretty excited about this. I've finally got enough to make my full Seasinger, which is the Mage Player Imports armour set, in case you didn't know. There we go, got my 5 Chi Globes. I'll just check the other mission as well. And 25k ring crafting. That's a nice start to the day. So we'll just hop over to the workshop here. If I've not covered these in my videos yet, don't worry, I will do. And you can see I have to select untradeable magic gear and the top craft. There we go. Right, so pop into the bank now and grab the other 2 bits. Excuse me. I love that cough in the morning. And pop that on. Yeah, there we go, full Seasinger. I have to say, I'll show you, it looks like absolute shit. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty horrible. But it is pretty much the best mage armor in the game. So yeah, if we just look at defensive stats, yeah, obviously armor rating, or life point should I say, and then if we go to our block percentage, it's really, really good. Even post nerf, which I'm going to talk a little bit later about in the video. Yeah, it's just a really good set of armor, and at the moment there's a bit of a bug where if you repair it from 0, it costs you 20k. So hopefully Jagex don't fix that, because we'll just wear it for everything then. But okay, so right, that's the first bit done. Just pop this back in the bank, and then I'll just talk about some of the things I've been doing recently, give you a bit of an update. So, stats-wise, my combat level has kicked on from 187 to 190 recently, which is really nice to see. I've been doing quite a bit of Slayer, as you can see. I'm now level 91 and 260k to 92, which is great. As you can see in my Slayer thing now, I've got a goal set of 95, so 2.5 mil to go. And if we check my XP counter, nearly halfway through getting to that 95 from when I first started that XP tracker. So the reason I want to get 95, as I said before, is hopefully to go camp Ganodermic Beasts and make quite a bit of money. Some of the other things I've done, yeah, I've got defense up to 95. I'm now going to leave defense probably for quite a while, and I think I'm going to get 99 attack is my next thing, because obviously since the update, hits depend quite a lot upon attack, and seeing as I don't have overloads just yet, well, not for quite a while just yet, but improving my attack will help me quite a lot. And then yeah, 96 hit points I've gone up to, which is quite nice. Again, a few levels in range. Got a magic level yesterday. I think that's just about it. I'm doing warbands every day for Herblore, so that should be going up fairly consistently. So yeah, stats wise, that's what I've done recently. And for now, I will see you in the next clip. Hey there again, guys. Sorry about that little break. I was just doing a bit of warbands and didn't really think that would be the most enjoyable thing in the world. But I'm just going to give you a little update on one of the things I have been doing quite a lot recently. As you can see, I'm got a farming cape on here, and I got 99 farming sometime last year. But I got it quite cheap. I'm actually going to make a video or a guide, I suppose, about how I did it. It's kind of a bit more redundant now that warbands are in the game, because so many people are getting farming XP that way. But one of the things that I did to sort of offset the cost was a little money-making thing that, because of warbands, has actually come back into the game. With EOC, it actually ended up not making profit at all, but now it does. So I'm just going to show you what that is. It's basically making polypore staffs from scratch. Now, I know that's quite a high farming requirement. I can't remember how much. I think it's 80 or 85 farming, one of the two. So it's quite, it's a relatively high requirement. But what you basically do is buy polypore sticks, polypore spores, and quite a lot of fire runes. And you literally just chuck them together. Can't do that. Hands are full. Just take those off. Let's try again. So what you do is you literally make polypore stuffs. Now I think I've only got enough for 9 at the moment, because I use the polypore stuff when I'm doing warbands, and I was just doing warbands a few minutes ago, as I said, and some gutless fuck killed me, even though he was in my FC and wearing a cape, but it's okay because I got his ass banned, so that's fine. But yeah, so I had to make a polypore staff to replace the one I lost, sadly, because I was thick and didn't have protect item turned on. So yeah, so it's just a really little quick tip. I will tell you the margins and show you what to do once I've made all these and sold them in the GE. But it's a really good thing, I mean, to do each day. I generally put in an offer each day for 10 polypore staffs worth. So what you need to do with that is, well, I'll just sell these and I'll show you. So just pop these in the GE and sell them all. Normally I would be selling 10, but hey. So what you need to do is you go and buy your fire runes. This is the bit that takes up a GE slot, because obviously, wow, lag. Obviously you can't buy 150,000 fire runes on the bounce. You can only buy 25. Oh, that was a fail. You can only buy 25k per hour, per 4 hours. So what you need to do is you need to put an offer in for 150,000 fire runes. That's presuming you're going to make 10 polypore staffs, because they require 15k fire runes each. So you pop that in the G, and then you also need to buy 10 polypore sticks, which you can see I've already got there, and it's 3,000 polypore spores per stick. So again, if you're doing 10, you need 30k polypore spores, which I've already got there, so I don't need to buy those now. So yeah, the thing that makes this method not good for some people is obviously the quite high farming requirement, and the other thing is, obviously, if you like to use your GE all the time, you're going to be tying it up with 3 spaces. To be honest, the polypore sticks and the polypore spores sometimes will buy quite quickly. Obviously the fire runes won't, for the reason I said, but it's kind of worth doing. Profit and wise, I mean, obviously the prices fluctuate quite a lot. When I was doing 99 farming, 10 polypore stuffs, the margins on them were actually 40k per staff, so I was making 400k per polypore staff. Now, I was actually buying 20 polypore sticks and 60k polypore spores, and then I was using another account to buy fire runes simultaneously. So I was basically making about 800k a day, and if I got my friend or someone just to buy me a load of fire runes as well, as I do at the moment, I used to be able to make over £1 million a day in about 5 minutes work, which obviously when you're doing farming is quite a lot. At the moment, the margin is something like 200 to 250k per 10 polypore staffs. So the cost of them to make one is about, let's just have a look. To sell them, yeah, they will sell for sort of that much, so however much they are each, they sell for about 40 odd k or something. But yeah, you can expect to make 20 to 25k per stick or per polypore staff, so that works out to 200 to 250k per 10 a day. I am quite lucky because, again, I have a friend who's buying me fire rings at the moment, which means generally I can make about 20 a day, so I'm kind of making 500k doing it, which is really, really good. You know, it's a real quick daily, I suppose you'd say. Like I said, slightly high farming requirements, but nothing too mad. I'm going to now get back into my Dagonoth task, because I just picked up a lovely dag task, and I'm going to go to Waterbirth Island and do that, and I will see you then for a bit more random chat. The moment where you try to do a mage task and you realise you're on the wrong goddamn fucking spell book. Yeah, that. Here we are, guys, back on my Dagonoth task. So This, I don't know if many of you knew about this method, but this used to be up until quite recently, an absolutely ridiculous place to train for mage and summoning, for charms, obviously, because you could basically just sit here in AFK and kill these dags, and every so often you need to obviously run around the room and make them aggressive again. But Jagex, in their infinite wisdom, decided that it would be a really, really, really good idea to nerf this because they thought it was too powerful. So what they did was they lowered the charm rate and they made most of the creatures in here unaggressive. So what you would do before is basically run around the room like this, hook all the dags onto you, and then stand over here and kill them all, which was just a really, really, really good high-level training method. Was about 300-400k mage XP per hour, and obviously a lot of crims. Now, you can see just by the fact that I've killed quite a lot of them in the last few minutes, and I've got 5 crims so far, and that's it. I used to want to use that really. So yeah, just it's very frustrating now when I have a dag task, because obviously before this used to be so fast, not just for Slayer tasks, obviously, just because, but it just brings me on to my next point about Jagex and nerfing stuff. A good friend of mine told me the reason that they decided to nerf this, or at least their explanation, which was something along the lines of comparing the amount of XP and charms you would get from this training method in comparison to what the special ability of a bunyip heals you, right? When you use Swallow Whole and you can feed your bunyip raw fish. They tried to make an argument that said basically they were comparing the amount of XP and charms you got to yeah, to the fact that they said it was too overpowered in comparison to how much fish using Swallow Whole gave you. Now, I mean, I'm no expert, don't get me wrong, but even I fail to see the logic in that kind of explanation. They nerfed it basically because they thought that it was too much XP and too many charms per hour for not a lot of work. Now, that I can understand, okay? I'm not against them making the game more challenging, i.e. getting rid of, AFK stuff. I don't mind that so much. If they'd have just come out and said it, right, and had just said, oh, we're getting rid of it because it's too AFK and it's too OP, and you'd say, well, to be honest, yeah, it probably is Jagex, so fair enough. The slightly frustrating thing is the fact that obviously that's not what they said. They would never say that, because half of the stuff that they release these days is exactly that. OP because they don't research it and test it properly enough, and far too AFK. I mean, look at warbands. Don't get me wrong, I do warbands every day, but that's a cheap 99 herb lore for me, thank you. But the amount of XP you get from warbands for the amount of time that you put in is just ridiculous, and it's not just Bibles, okay? Herb lore, yeah, you can do herb lore really quickly if you're really rich. You can train herb lore very, very fast. But if you think about the fact that you can get construction, smithing, and mining XP, together with farming, which is, again, it's a Bible, I suppose, although not the same quite as herb lore. Mining, construction, and smithing are skills that, yes, they are viable with smithing, fair enough, but mining and construction, they are seriously try-hardy or not AFK kind of things that you need to do. I mean, yeah, you can AFK mining, but if you want the best XP in the game, it's quite try-hardy. But you can get nowhere near the XP per hour actually doing mining legitimately than you can from warbands. If you go to warbands and do 3 warbands on the trot, that's like 280k XP in the space of, if you're lucky, 15-20 minutes. Now, you're seriously telling me you're going to get 700k an hour doing mining? I don't think so. So that's what kind of frustrates people like myself with Jagex, when they nerf perfectly good methods like this and then don't have the balls to say, well, they've done it. And even if they did, we would all turn around and say, well, hang on, look what you've just done with warbands or any other completely AFK method that they've brought into the game. It's just very annoying, and I wish they hadn't got rid of this method, because this is going to be my 99 magic method, but as you can see now, it doesn't work. You know, I'm using a barrage spell, and I'm, you know, very rarely hitting more than 2 or 3 dags. The charms are rubbish. It's just, yeah. So good fight, Jagex. But on the plus side, I suppose, like I said, Warbands is going to give me a very cheap Herblore level for now. So hopefully they won't nerf it. But you know what? Contradicting myself, I kind of do wish they'd nerf Warbands, because, you know, if I see all the people running around with farming capes now, and some of my mates who have got ridiculous amounts of farming XP, and I think about all the fucking tree runs and kind of graft that I had to do to get 99 farming, it sort of pisses me off. But then, you know, I'm sat here getting, I don't know, 200 plus K Herblore XP a day at the moment if I get 3 warbands done. And so, you know, people who've got 99 Herblore and spent, I don't know, 150 mil on it, yeah, they've probably got a right to be a bit aggrieved as well. So if I'm honest, I think it would be best if they'd never brought warbands into the game, but they did, so I'm going to take that. Yeah, so for the rest of the day, I'm just going to be doing some Slayer, or at least for the next few hours anyway. Trying to get my Slayer XP up. I'm going to try and see if I can manage another 300k Slayer today. Got to go out later to the gym, that kind of stuff, so I can't sit here in no life all day, much as I would love to at the moment. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some more good Slayer XP, and I'll probably have another ports video coming out today. Who knows? But for now, I'll say bye, and thanks for watching as ever. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think.